Hey folks, today I'll be sharing some new concept art with commentary I'll be reading from David Romero of all the artwork he has made for the project so far. Let's start off with the previously shared concept art. For this clown piece, David writes, Brucey is a jovial, light-hearted, yet deep down he's insecure and yearns for attention. The clown serves as a manifestation of these insecurities. I want to hint at the clown's eventual transformation by giving him eyes for shoulders, a tongue in place of his tie, and teeth in place of his undershirt and pockets, transforming the classic image of a clown into something closer to cosmic horror. His black hat, overalls, and gloves contain stars. For the concept of the mime, David writes, the mime was inspired by Charlie Chaplin's character, the tramp, and the silent clown characters of the 1920s and 30s. As such, I wanted to give him a somewhat makeshift design using old shoes and visibly threaded clothes. I also wanted to give him a more simplified face as though a child drew him from imagination. For the concept of the bodybuilder, David writes, Willie is introverted and nerdy, while his imaginary counterpart exudes confidence and strength. Dave Bautista was one of the visual inspirations for this character's design, down to the tiny round glasses he sometimes wears in his films. The bodybuilder wears orange glasses to make him look a little more vibrant in his regular form, but when in shadow, the glasses give him a menacing look of rage. For the first scene concept, David writes, this scene is our first look into how the shift in tone affects the world of the story and the imaginary characters. The bodybuilder is now warped into a more intimidating and protective form. For the second scene concept, David writes, the scene depicts the story's final act, with Raju and the mime surrounded by the bodybuilder and the clown, now in more monstrous forms. Colors have almost disappeared entirely and the characters are isolated from the rest of the world. The school bleachers now serve as a cage for Raju and the mime. For the first poster concept, David writes, I wanted to jump into symbolism right away. With this piece, since we're dealing with childhood imagination, I thought it would be interesting to depict the mime as something associated with creativity, clay. This outer shell that was meant to be a protector for Raju is now seen as a fragile mask. For poster 2, David writes, for this piece, I want to represent the spirit of the school as an institution, as a crowd mentality, and as childhood, tearing our characters apart. Like the first piece, I want to give viewers the sense that the mime is fragile like a doll and is literally being pulled apart by an uncaring, cruel world. Like seeing a classroom full of kids break apart your favorite toy. This is the sort of feeling I wanted to convey with this poster. For poster 3, David writes, this poster focuses mainly on environmental storytelling and shadows, pulling back from the fantastical while maintaining some uncanny mystery. I figured that perhaps showcasing the setting of the final act could subliminally let the audience know that these bleachers carry a great significance, almost like a sanctuary or a cave. I was heavily inspired by noir lighting for this one, and it is ultimately how I approach the design of the imaginary characters, with stripes and strong contrasts, light and shadow. For poster 4, David writes, pantomimes, but with a twist. I wanted it to feel like an invisible wall had just sliced off the mime's face, revealing Raju's scared expression underneath. Like the first and second covers, I wanted to tie the symbolism of Raju and the mime as one and the same, sharing the same anguish and horror, but this time against forces they could neither control nor see. I hope you really enjoyed some of the new artwork and listening to David's commentary about the art that he made for us. If you haven't done so, please be sure to like and subscribe, and please leave a comment behind, and I'll see you next time.